Hello and welcome. Welcome back. This is going to be part 2 of the radio. Get my keyboard out of the way. So, start off, this is the case. When building this, I did take some pictures and it'll be uploaded in the final video. When I get to it, should probably be I want to say probably about the end of February is what I'm thinking. Um, I didn't really take video of putting it together. Just there's a lot of small stuff for wiring and nuance pieces that are inside of here. But I do have two pieces to add in. One is still coming in the mail, but I'm going to put something in there to um, in there in the meantime. Give me a second here. I do apologize. Okay, so we go here. And I'll open up the case here in a minute. Just getting some things posted here. Oh, excuse me. I wish I had a different camera angle for this. So we got lots of goodies in the case. For starters, we have our Stu Super antenna right here. This is where it's going to originally sit once it's all done and it'll be put together. We also have the radials right here that just sit on top. Length of coax. The microphones. And then we get to the main components. So right now, what we're going to be doing today is mounting the head unit for the HF radio. It's on a little sticky pad, and it's going to go pretty much right here. There's also a cable that's going to plug into this radio and go into the back down here in the corner. We got a little light right here with some USB plugs on it for power. And as of right now, it is hooked up. Not everything fully works on it, obviously, because this is not plugged in. But we have our tuner. It's live. It's got its own battery separate to this battery. Then on the switch here, I don't have the AC plugged in for power, which is going to be red. The blue is going to be the charger, which I will talk about after we get all this together. And then position number 2, which is our battery powered off the battery. Flip the switch here. And you can see that our meters come up. We did install a fan. We did install a fan right here. It is a little noisy, but I think it's going to do pretty okay, especially on a hot day. We got a switch here. The up position doesn't do anything. It's not hooked up. It just happened to be what I had lying around. But if we flip it down, the blue light comes on. So what's happening here is you've seen that this went to red. Red indicates that it's charging. So there's a 5 volt, 12 volt to 5 volt converter inside that's converting to 5 volts to charge the battery on this. And it's got two 18650s inside of there. Then there's our meter. Power off. We have two USB here's that connect to a laptop to work digital modes such as FT8 or some other like slow scan television. This one right here is HF head. This is where this radio will actually plug into. And this is actually, we go there. And it just pops on. Then this is just another power source. USB-C, just a quick place to plug the phone in. Thing I like is this little light. So this is what we call an Anderson connector. Make it really nice and easy to connect things. So that will plug into there. And now we have light. Work some night operations so you can see your paperwork. So now what we'll do, pull out the screwdriver. Disconnect our battery. Now the reason why I designed this like this was so you can take the battery out and the case will be lighter, as well as this case is big enough it stows in the overhead compartment on an airplane, or small enough. But in case you can't take the battery with you, you can at least take the battery out. There you can see the glorious mess of wires. I try to organize it as best I can, but when I realized how much space I actually have, things just kind of went bleh. There it is. So everything's kind of situated. And interestingly enough, I don't have the radio screws in. So this will actually move. This will actually move. But with everything's location, it stays put. So I'm going to leave it. Yeah, I could put the screws in, and believe me, I've thought about it, but just, yeah, I'm happy with this. So this is the HF rig. This is the coup de grace of the whole thing. Convert AC to DC on this as a switch mode power supply. Down here, this little block. Let's see if I got a flashlight that can light some of this up to help. Low. No. I said low. No. Thank you. 3200 lumen flashlight, blinding you just barely looking at it. So this right here converts 12 volts into 5 volts DC. And that's what goes up to the battery pack on this unit. This is the tuner. I actually mounted the tuner to the top of this piece of plastic. And as you can see, we have right-angled USBs right here. This was because the amount of space in this was so little. It was just easier to get these and put them in. Now, as for what we're hooking up, Blue Cat 6. Got this cable with one of the security cameras. Don't really use it. It just kind of just sits around. Like, okay, cool. Well, the cable I was waiting for in the mail, I honestly think it's going to get lost, and I'll probably have to reorder it, was a 90-degree version of the RJ45 connector. It was just take the connector, turn it 90 degrees so there's less room between the connector and the head of the cable. You just take it down quarter inch, half an inch, something like that. But we're taking this and connecting it over here. So the microphones plug into the front of the case, and the top one is the HF radio, but the bottom one is going to be the VHF UHF radio. See, and this is why I wanted that 90-degree cable. So stick that in there like that, run this off to the side. I did make one error with this setup. And I got to figure out what I'm going to do. So I got this cable right here with this little, what is that, a 1/8, the 1/8 jack stereo connector. This is going to go into the back of the HF radio to allow to plug in headphones or a speaker into this jack from the top. But realizing as soon as I plug it in, I have no sound unless I have a speaker. So I'm just leaving it unhooked. Because I also found out, I forgot about this, on the FT891, there's actually a microphone jack on the head unit. Like, that's cool. That'll actually come in handy because I do plan to get a headset eventually. So that will definitely be useful. So now that we got this line in, stick that there. Check some of my connections. Oh. I don't know if it'll come up. Yeah. This block right here. So if you ever hear the word diode, a diode allows current to flow one direction. This diode is a pretty beefy diode for this application. It's just what I happened to find and what suited what I wanted it to do instead of having to solder a little tiny diode in there. And actually, I think I have one. I do. Give me a second. So here's the diode. This one is a 55 amp diode. Power goes in through here, comes out this way. And like I say, it only allows power to go one way. So that way, let's say we hook up AC current to the DC or a solar panel, it doesn't feed back and hurt the electronics. So that's kind of what that does. I have a second one because originally this was also going to go in, but with the way the charger was set up, it just would not work. Then I kind of went a little nuts with the Anderson connectors. This is AC on an Anderson connector. Okay, so let's plug you back in. Okay. Hook up you. Okay. See, it sucks because I was hoping that other cable would come in because I wanted this to be the final closure of this case unless I actually had to take this plastic piece off in the future. Why aren't we sitting in? Why are we being moody? Quit being moody. Why are you being a pain in my butt? That's why I wanted my flat cable. Something somewhere is not happy with me and is not having it. Having arguments with electronics. Okay. So we got all this extra cable I don't need. So we're going to run this behind, I do believe, and up. So loosen up the radio. Yes, this is very much so a Fox box. Goes underneath, plug right into there. Now fight with it again. Get in the hole. Okay, fine, be a pain. Look at that mess. Look at that. It just... Ugh. That's irritating. I wish that part would have came in. I don't know what's going on with Amazon lately, but geez. Magnetic screwdrivers trying to steal things off my desk. All right. So now, if I remember where my screws went, there they are. We're going to go ahead and just screw this case completely together. And yes, I am being OCD about the washers. I want them to look nice. Even though my switches are awfully crooked, but I still want the washers to look nice. Makes no sense, right? Did I lose a washer? Okay. There's the hole. There's the hole. This probably be the one washer that won't go in right. It'll probably screw with me. Really? You got the wrong goddamn screw that won't go tight. Why? Why? Whatever. At least it's N. You're doing it too. What did I do to deserve this? Did it go? Nope. Nope, not even. Well, screw you too, washers. Jeez. Might actually have to bust out the drill and put some anchor to them. Well, that screw's doing it too. Why? Might need longer screws. Yeah, screws want to be a pain in the butt. I left the screws out the whole time I've been building this. Instead of take screws in, take screws out, put screws in, take screws out. Are you seriously gonna be the only one that actually works? Nope. Okay. That would irritate me. The one freaking washer that actually sat the way it's supposed to sit. Be brilliant. So for those of you that are interested in seeing this in person, February 16th, I believe doors open at 9 a.m. and it goes until 1 p.m. is the Adams County Hamfest, or it's a Hamfest at the Adams County Fairgrounds. And I will have this down there sitting on a table for people to see. There's plenty of people that have built Go boxes. Every design is different and interesting and unique in its own way. Minus the curvature. I feel like I got a mountain going in my box, you know. Whee! So this side was positive, right? Or was it that side? So the other plans for this. Why do I have two different size screws? Something's not right. Where's that chocolate block? There is a screw somewhere that is not where it should be. Oh, these got the longer screws, so I'm going to take those. And yes, I have a bad habit of calling connectors that, like that little one. Chocolate blocks. The terminology that I used for it, I can't remember exactly what the part was, but I built an antenna, directional antenna, a very long time ago to do fox hunting on VHF. And the antenna was built out of conduit, or yeah, I think it's called conduit. It's the plastic stuff you run wires through for like AC and whatnot, and a couple welding rods. And we built a directional antenna for VHF. It worked okay. I'm gonna transmit on it, but definitely the receive portion of it worked like it was supposed to. So we test, make sure we still got power to things. Yep. Let's still see power. I need to charge the battery. It's only showing 13.2. I think it's supposed to be 14.8. I don't exactly remember. Make sure your screw is nice and tight. The only issue is if I ever have to take that off, I'm either going to have to get a wrench for that screw, or I have to take this radio out and come out with a screwdriver. Yeah, it's okay. Honestly, this blue cable will probably just stay. You know, if I get that other cable, I'll certainly put it in. It'll blend, it'll black. The blue part's kind of annoying now. Alcohol pad. Lick. Sterilize the area. Get it all nice and clean. Let it dry. At some point. So I'm thinking probably about mid next month, maybe the beginning of next month, of taking this setup out to Cherry Creek Reservoir and working POTA. The only thing I'm not looking forward to is freezing. Oh man, that is going to be a cold day. Rip off the stickiness. And this is where I'm going to get OCD. I can still use the buttons. Even though the tuner's below it, which is kind of what I want to do. That way it's still I still have space opened up back here. I like just having that little bit of coverage over the tuner. I can still reach the buttons with my fingers. There's only a couple buttons I really use on it. Anyways. Oh, I seriously forgot that. Son of a mother. God damn it. Oh, I forgot to plug in one cable. One cable. Be honest, this is not the first time I've done this, especially to this radio. Just one flipping cable. First time I did this, I thought I broke the radio. I'm sitting there just sweating, like, oh jeez, oh jeez, oh jeez. Come on, I don't need to take you all the way out. You're not going to be nice to me? Fine. Take the back ones out. Trying to make sure if I can get enough room in there to get my hand in there just to plug it in. That radio may actually wind up getting Anderson connectors further up the line. Give me the freaking washer. Use. Oh, thank you. Yep, there's the freaking cable. All right, that cable's now plugged in. Now to round 2 to fight. There we go. I had to get OCD about my screws again. Still annoys me. I might have to just take some sticky stuff to it. I know, watching me screw is so entertaining. There we go. All right, now it should light up. That should come on. Cool. Let's see if I can tilt this without busting my computer monitor. Well, instead I touched the mouse. Here's kind of what it looks like. I'll have a better picture of it when I upload the final video. Come on, get back. Okay, fine, be a pain. Go back with it. So one thing I did do is earlier you seen when I pulled out the microphones, they didn't have your typical connector on them. So, not that microphone. This microphone. This is the HF microphone. And I stuck a quick connect on here, waterproof quick connect. It's running a Cat 6 cable. Cat 6 for this microphone is pretty standard. Take that and stick it in there, just clips right in. Now the radio is ready to go. I can sit here and tune. When I'm done, just pull it out. I don't have a dedicated spot to put all the cables, so they're generally just going to sit up here. Call it good. Now for the super antenna. Well, I guess I should go over that part too. Now let's turn you off, turn you off, turn you off, turn you off, turn you off. Go ahead and just throw this back in here. On the back side of this case, this is what it looks like. So these two here are for the antennas. One's VHF, one's UHF. So the VHF one is the upper one, even though it doesn't correspond with the microphone because microphone's on the lower one. The idea behind this is to put a standoff, probably about yay long, and then attach an antenna where it sit at an angle up and down, while the HF one's got its own antenna. This plug here, this is your AC connection. You just take an extension cord, plug it in, call it good. This plug over here is the expansion, really, is what I like to call it, or what I want to call it. This is for solar. This is also for the battery charger. So the battery charger that I use to charge the battery is called a NOCO. I stand by NOCO. I use these when I worked worked as a tow truck driver. These were the best things ever to get people going, but I bought the charger version, 10 amp. I took one of their ends, spliced off the other end, and stuck this connector on there. Nice beefy looking connector, right? And it just snaps right in. And it is a waterproof connector, supposedly. I wouldn't trust it, you know, in a bright, like rainstorm or trying to submerge this thing. I wouldn't submerge this at all, especially considering how much the radios are. You twist and pull out. I was originally going to mount this inside the box until I realized how much little room there actually is. That was the one thing that stopped me. It was like, okay, yeah, I'll just do it this way. Plus, this way, at least I have a backup charging system for the cars. Apply some AC current. All right. Now let's set up the antenna. Ooh, I have a loose part. So this antenna, the base of it's a tripod. It just all screws together when they actually want to work. Grab our HF cable. Why am I missing a part to the antenna? I am missing a part to the antenna. Why do you do this to me? You just have to torture me with missing parts. I have kept track of this part, and now this part is missing. Oh, that is going to annoy me. Bet you it's in a common place. How did I lose that part? The part I lost is the whip. It's the topper to the antenna. By the way, if you've ever seen these things, so you remember back in the 90s and the 80s when you had the slap wrists, right? Well, apparently someone came out with an idea for using the tie cables together. It's like so great. Run this behind. And it's the lower one. All right. Still annoyed I lost that part. Well, one part that I actually need. Freaking lost it. I know it's somewhere around here. It's floating somewhere. It's alright. Running theory should still work. So as you can see, our AC power is now on. Now here's the one thing I didn't do, and I should have done it while I had this off. This still says battery. There is no power going back into the battery. It's a connection on the LED, and I got to figure out how I can put a diode in there to keep it from doing that. Still kind of cool though. Lights up both lights. Like, oh hey, you're on hot power, and you are got 12-volt power. So I'm gonna probably change it to say 12-volt. I don't know if it's actually coming through or not. Well, there you have it. The radio backpack. I'll have to find this part to this other antenna and get it uploaded. Or get the video uploaded so you guys can actually see it from a different angle instead of overhead down like we're playing Grand Theft Auto, like the original PlayStation game. Or the original PC game. That was so much fun, but God, that was also a headache. Oh, the dude's wearing a blue shirt running. It's like, you're supposed to be wearing a cool shirt. No, it's just a blue shirt. If you have any comments, questions, or ideas that I can use to improve this, I'm all ears. Please put them in the comments below. Other than that, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hit the like button and stay tuned for more. Thank you all for joining in. This has been Radio Pack 3.0 Part 2.